Okay. Good afternoon, Juankee. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Hello, Mary.
Hi. So, I'm Mary Biggs, and this is Juankee McKinney, and this is the second interview we're doing with members and leaders, congregants, Unity Christ Church for Talks on Truth. So, today we're here interviewing Juankee McKinney, a longtime member and leader in Unity Christ Church. And first, what I'd like to have you talk to our viewers about is really what you're involved with right now at the church. I know we have a lot going on, but if you could kind of give us an overview. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm involved in a lot of things here at Unity Christ Church. I guess the first thing that I'm involved in is I am the president of the Board of Trustees at this point in time, and so this is my third year on the board. And so we've had a year of really transformative growth, and we're really very pleased with the process that we're going through. I'm also a prayer chaplain at our church, and that's something that I got involved in this past year because I felt moved by Spirit to do that. I also do a spiritual support group, which I've been doing for some years now, probably about 20 years, I think. It's been quite a while. And what else do I do? I'm a platform assistant. So I guess I wear a lot of hats here at the church.
And you still write for the newsletter.
Oh yes, I do. I write Thoughts from the Heart for the newsletter.
Right. So I've heard this story, but most of the people that are going to be viewing this probably have not heard the story. How long have you been in Unity? But more importantly, what led you to Unity? What led you to Unity and its principles and teachings?
Okay. All right. I've been in Unity since probably the early 1980s, and I believe I came here in 1984. And so what led me here is I was having a number of experiences which I didn't understand. I was having some spiritual type experiences. I really didn't know what they were at the time, because it was like I would have this energy. It felt like this energy was coming into my room at night, and my bed was shaking, and I was like, oh my. And so I started asking my friends. I was like, what's going on? And kind of get some ideas from them, from my church.
But it was a positive energy.
Right.
It didn't scare you. You just wondered what was going on.
Right, because I wondered what was going on, because I said, I know I'm a psychologist, and I know that nothing's wrong with me. So I thought that was interesting. So what I did is I asked some of my friends who I knew were very religious people. I told them about it, and I said, what do you think I should do? And they said, you should go to church. I said, go to church. I said, okay.
Were you raised in a particular faith? Did you attend church and then stop, or were you not?
I actually was raised in church. I was raised in church. What denomination?
Yeah.
Well, my father was Baptist.
Okay.
I went to the Baptist church. I also went to the Congregational church with my aunt. And so for most of my young years, I did go to the Congregational church. So
What is different about Congregational? Because I'm not familiar. I was raised Catholic.
Okay.
So, and as you know, I'm studying seminary right now. I haven't gotten to the part where the church breaks off yet. But how does Congregational compare to like Baptist?
Well, the congregation, this is what I remember from when I was there. They talked about God is love.
Okay.
And when I was in a Baptist church, they kind of talked about other things like the devil and fire and brimstone.
Yeah,
and
the Baptists were pretty strict, right?
Right.
They didn't allow you to have any fun.
well,
I mean,
you couldn't do
strict moral code, right?
A lot of things you could not.
Probably really for your betterment, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Drinking, smoking.
Yeah, adultery.
Things like that. Yeah. So they were very strict, but I think with the Congregational church, they focus more on the idea of God being love. And so my idea of God always was that God was love. And I had a very difficult time with people telling me that God was going to punish me and do those kind of things. And so therefore, I didn't go to church, but when my friends would tell me about that, I said, well, I believe in God, but I don't believe in the God that people keep telling me about.
It's a punisher.
Right.
Yeah.
It's punishing me. So I said, so if God is love and God doesn't punish you if God loves you. And so those were the ideas that I had. And so, anyway, I went on a quest. My friends told me to go on a quest for a church, and so I started driving around. I started going to different churches. So I went back to the Congregational Church from where I grew up. I didn't. It was okay, but I didn't really care for it at this point in time. So I just went
now that you were an adult and your ideas about life and philosophy have evolved, you kind of grown out of that.
Yeah, and so I went to the Baptist church, and it was not what I needed at that time. And then I went to several churches. And so what was so interesting is that I would drive down Stever Boulevard, which is right in front of our church, and every time I would pass by here, this little voice would say to me, "You need to go in that church." And I would be like, and I look and I said, okay. And so it went on for about 2 months every time I came by here. So finally I said, you know what? I said, I need to go in that church. And so I finally came in the church. And when I came in, the minister was speaking, and it was like, this is what I always believed. And so since that day, I've been coming.
Do you remember what year that was?
I think it was in it was early 1980s. It was when Gary Jones was the minister here. So.
All righty. So I'm not going to test you on the 5 basic unity principles. I kind of did to Reverend Sally, but I'm just going to say them briefly for our viewers because I want to ask you how you incorporate some of these unity principles into your daily life. And so the first one, we all believe God is everywhere equally present and all good. And God dwells within each of us through the Christ presence. And human beings can create their own or co-create their experiences with right thinking. That's the law of mind action. So whatever we think about and focus on, we become or we manifest. And then prayer meditation is the direct link to God, especially in wanting to change our lives and focusing on the positive. And so knowing all of this is not, really just enough. You can know it, and that's great, but like Emily Cady said, the day comes where you have to live it. So a person must live these truths. So knowing, just all of this kind of unity belief system, what are some of the things that you do or you incorporate in your daily life to live out these unity principles?
One of the things that's really important to me is my prayer and meditation time. That I make that a part of my day every day. And I remember when I first started, just in the truth studies, I would do it twice a day, in the morning and at night. And I had that. It was like I had a ritual where I would do it. But as time went on, it became became spontaneous about it, and I would do it whenever I felt moved to do it. But that's been very important to me, and also just seeing God in everything and in everybody. And that helps me a lot because when I go out into the world, that's what I always say, that I'm going to meet God. And whoever I meet, I try to recognize the presence of God within them. And it makes my day really pleasant. And also, I just think that I try to practice it no matter where I am. I want to always stay in that presence and that consciousness of God. Because I think as I do that, it's a very positive effect for myself as well as for other people. And I think that that's another way that we kind of help uplift the world in terms of our consciousness, of our caring for one another. And even just knowing that you are just another part of me, that just makes everything.
When you set that intention, when you leave out the door for your day, when you set that intention that you're going to look for God, basically you're looking for the good in people, it really connects you to God and other people. And it's probably a little bit harder for some of us who don't do what you do for a living. So I'd like you to share a little bit about your personal life, like your career and then your family. But I know your career is helping people, and knowing that you're going out to help people, unity kind of to me fits like hand in glove with what you do for a living. So can you tell us? Tell us what you do now, but tell us how you got there, or, because you didn't start out being a PhD psychologist.
Okay. So now you told everybody what I do.
I did.
Okay. All right. I'm a psychologist, and I guess in terms of what I do for a living, it's very, I believe that rather than just being a psychologist per se, I bring to that practice, like the presence of God, because whenever I do therapy, I always, just like I said, I go out to look for the God in everyone. And when people come to me for therapy, I don't look at the problem. I look at them as the presence of God coming to share something with me.
Wow.
And so as I look at them in that way, it's just like the healing presence is there with us, and whatever needs to be done is done. You know, of course, I've learned my tools and techniques from the field of psychology, but also I've learned a great deal from Unity, and I use those principles as I work with people, and I notice that people get better.
They're actually effectual. They actually work. They make a difference. They change, and I think a lot of times just the presence, and because I have done some counseling with you too, but just the presence of a person who is spiritually connected and grounded in God and good, just that, sharing that with somebody who comes in who is troubled, looking for solutions or looking to, you know, find some inner joy or strength, I think that in and of itself is just a major step in the right direction. And that's probably why you have so many clients. And you work too much.
Well, that's a very interesting observation there. Okay. But you know, but it's also very rewarding and satisfying, because I know that this is where Spirit has led me to do what I need to do. And I guess when you were talking about how I got to be a PhD,
to get there, yeah.
You know, it was a very interesting road to getting there, because my goal, I got a master's degree in psychology, and at the time I was graduating, all my professors kept saying, "You should get a PhD. You need a PhD." I said, "I don't need a PhD. I need a job." and so anyway, I went and got a job, because, you know, I was like, I got to make some money. So I went and got a job, and my very first job, I didn't make any money, and I was like, what is going on with this? And so I said, well, I kept working, and then after a while, I realized something. You know, I said, I think I need a PhD. And so it took me like 7 years to figure it out, but I had a lot of experiences.
Well, God is patient with us, right?
Right, and I had a lot of experiences that just kept saying, you really need to go and do something different, because it wasn't fulfilling me in the way that I thought it would. And so finally, I applied for school. And then what's the miracle about it is that I kept saying, well, I can't go to school if I don't have any money. And so, and I had a job. And so anyway, I ended up losing my job, and I had applied to St. Louis University. And it was just like a miracle that happened. And so they told me I had to come full time. I said, well, I can't come full time because I have to work and I have to make money, you know. And so so anyway, I ended up losing my job, and so I called them. This was about a week before school started. And I said, hey, I haven't heard back from you. I need to, can I still come to school? They said, oh, we didn't interview you. Come on over for an interview. And so I went over for my interview, and so the man said, well, call us back tomorrow. Let us know if you want to come. And I was like, what? And so anyway, when he called me back, I called him back and said, I really want to come. And so what happened was, they provided me with assistantship and money to pay for me to be in school.
To be in full time.
Yeah, and what was so funny about it is that I made more money going to school than I made on my job. And I was like, is that God?
Really? I wish that would happen with me. That would be wonderful.
But that was so funny.
So I was going to say something about, when you are in your right place in life, and you are using the talents that God has given you and the capacity that God gives each one of us in certain gifts, you are fulfilled, and it's a blessing to, you know, work is not a curse, work is a blessing as long as you are in that right flow where you are really kind of like, you know, a flower in bloom. It's the seed that was implanted in you, and you are expressing that and you are blooming, then it doesn't seem like work at all. I mean, it's energy and effort, and you are paid for it, but it almost seems as if it's really a joy. Exactly, and not everyone gets to that place, but we would hope that people who are viewing this and who are in Unity and are not feeling that they are receiving that enrichment or fulfillment would seek and pray and do prayer and meditation and guidance and let God guide them, sort of the way you guided. Even it's so funny when a lot of people are praying for something, opportunity comes along and they reject it. Like it took you 7 years to figure out, oh, well, this is where I need to be. So just remember, God never gives up on us, even though we might direct ourselves somewhere else.
And the beauty of it is just, I always talk, people always say, how can you do this for a living? And I say, you know, it's kind of like having fun. It's like putting a puzzle together, like fitting all the pieces together and seeing what's going on, and helping people to move into another way of being.
And I think it's, you know, even in what I do, in my, quote, insurance career, I felt that was not what I was choosing to do, but I felt, especially ever since I got into Unity, that even in my secular job of selling insurance, that I was really truly helping people meet other needs. Even though they were buying insurance from me, there were other things going on that I felt like God is using me, even in this, to make a difference in people's lives because of my spiritual connection and being aware that really that's what we are here for. Yeah, exactly. So it makes a big difference.
Yeah, and that's what I always think about, kind of helping us raise our consciousness and raising that presence within us.
So in your life, a little bit about your family. You never have been married, or have you? Okay.
No. I never have been married.
But you came from a big family, right?
I came from a big family. I have 5 brothers and 2 sisters.
Okay.
And
they're kind of all over, right? A few live here, but some live in Mississippi and Ohio. And
well, I have I have 2 brothers in Ohio. I have a brother in Atlanta. I have a sister in Mississippi.
But there have been love interests, correct? Even though there's no wedding ring.
Right.
And there's still time for that too. There's always time for that.
Right, there's always time for that. You know, and the biggest thing is that you feel love. And I feel a lot of love from a lot of different people.
Oh, that's great.
And especially, you know, my family. I have a really good family, and I just am very thankful. And I become more thankful for them as I help people go through their challenges, and I really appreciate the family that God gave me, even though they were not perfect. None of us are perfect, but the challenges that we face helped me to grow into who I am now, and I really appreciate that about them.
Yeah, we are ourselves and our circumstances and our experiences. That's what forms us. Is there anything else that you would like to share that I haven't asked you about, that maybe you want to tell our viewers about, exciting things here at Unity Christ Church?
Oh, exciting. Well,
where we're going. And
well, you know,
we had a recent change.
Yeah, we had a recent change in that our minister is
going to be leaving.
She's going to be leaving us at the end of this month, at the end of May. And so, as the board and the minister, we had created a action plan for what we're going to move in terms of how we're going to be transforming the church. And so our first action is we're offering our members an opportunity to be led by Spirit, to volunteer to work on certain teams. And we think that's going to be a very positive thing for the church, because it's going to bring more energy in and more people and more involvement in. And we also have some other things planned that we can't share with you right now because they're surprises. But I think it's going to be a very positive, prosperous year. We're looking at this year of transformation, and we're just moving in that direction, and that's the goal that we've had since our minister has been here. And we're going to continue with that goal as we move forward.
And we should say that Reverend Sally Fox is leaving really due to health challenges, and in her short time that she's been here, a year and a half, a lot of healing has taken place, a lot of restoration, especially from my own experience. She's been instrumental in helping me be restored to my position as a licensed Unity teacher and other things, prayer chaplain coordinator. But we are going to be looking for a minister fairly quickly, right?
Right.
Okay.
We're going to get started on the process probably in early June.
Okay.
And so we're going to work on that. But we want to, you know...
If any of our viewers are seeing this and they're interested in applying for the job, send their resume here to Juankee or to the church. Well, you never know.
You never know what's going to happen.
That's right.
We want to be open to wherever the Spirit guides us. And so that's what our goal is, to bring forth the perfect person to fill this spot and to bring that Spirit of God here with us and to continue to grow in that way.
All right. Well, I think that we are finished with our interview. Thank you so much, Ms. McKinney.
You're quite welcome.
All righty. Hold on
Thank
there.
you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Okay.